Thank you. And this is my partner, Michael Pollack from Phoenix, Arizona.
How are you, Irene?
I couldn't be better, Alan.
Hello, Bob.
Oh, hi, Alan.
Good to see you both.
Irene's journey leading up to her success in the Beverly Hillbillies and film industry was tough. She ventured into troubled paths with various twists before arriving at the top of her career. The actress was the epitome of resilience and courage. A free-spirited Irene would keep you entertained, no matter the role she starred. Who is Irene Ryan? What happened to her house? And how did she lose her husband? Let's walk you through the success and tragedy surrounding one of the greatest actresses to walk the planet. Stay tuned. The Granny of Hillbillies. Most times, fans find it hard to separate an actor from their most popular character. And that is true of Irene Ryan, who dazzled her audience with her role as Granny in the Beverly Hillbillies. Everyone couldn't get enough laughter and humor from the CBS sitcom show in the 1960s. Irene played the role of Daisy Mae Moses. Everyone applauds Irene for the exceptional delivery of her role and ability to connect with her character. The name Granny stuck with her throughout her career. Well, Irene was thrilled about that. She lived to entertain others on the silver screen and was honored for her role in the television series. Irene was born Irene Noblet on 17 October 1902. Her parents lived in El Paso, Texas at the time. She had a 17 years older sister, Anna. Her father, James Merritt Noblet, was an Army sergeant and a native of North Carolina, while her mother, Catherine McSherry, was an Irish emigrant. The actress had a strict upbringing. Her parents were not open to the idea of being successful in movie roles. They wanted her to study at a prestigious university and build a prolific career. But Irene had another thought. She wanted the life of an actor and pushed against her parents' wishes. Decades later, you can say she was right about pursuing a career in entertainment with her exceptional role delivery and several global recognition. In 1962, Irene was cast in a television series that turned out to be her best-known role. The Beverly Hillbillies was a defining moment in her career, yet she almost didn't get a space. The producer, Paul Henning, didn't think Irene fit the role as they needed someone older to play Granny. Famous actress Bea Benaderet was being considered when Irene showed them why she was the perfect act they needed. In her interview with El Paso Times, Irene recounted her experience. "I had to fight for it. I had worked with the scriptwriter, Paul Henning, before on the Dennis Day show, so I went up and read for him. It was the first time I had to close a script from laughing. But they told my agent I was too young, and I told them if they had anybody older, they'd never make it up at 5 a.m. for filming." Irene read the script with her blonde hair tied in a bun, gave the feisty character, and surprised everyone with her performance. When Benaderet saw her audition, she said, "That's Granny." She was instead given the role of Jeff Clampett's cousin, Pearl Bodine. There was no going back on their choice of Irene for Granny, even though they initially didn't consider her. Irene never took no for an answer. If there was a chance she could succeed at something, she was willing to take a step despite the perceptions of others. Her role as Granny Moses was in honor of the artist Anna Mary Robertson, who passed a year before the series was released. Anna, who aged 101 at the time of her passing, had only embraced her professional career as a painter. It was a great honor for Irene, who brought Granny Moses back to life with her portrayal of the character. She was a no-nonsense Granny who kept everyone on their feet. Her antiques got people laughing. Irene was funny to watch. She acted as the mother-in-law of patriarch Jed Clampett in Beverly Hillbillies and made everyone believe she was as old as her character Granny. Irene was 5 years older than Buddy Ebsen, who played Jed Clampett. How she pulled off the older woman's look amazed many viewers. The show kept this secret for a long time. It was later discovered that Irene's face was reconstructed with a lot of makeup to suit the old character of Granny. The 53-year-old actress looked over 80. Irene had to go through this makeup process every time she was on set. When the show reached its second season, the audience loved Granny. Even the media was not left out as the series made headlines. Although Irene was part of the cast, she was also a fan of the show and felt relieved after viewing some episodes. It's like I have gone to heaven. Honestly, it's so funny that I just sit and laugh. 6 months ago, no one cared whether I was alive or dead. Now, everyone I meet asks, "How old are you really, Granny?" The show is just so simple, just good old-fashioned comedy. No one is neurotic. We don't solve any world problems. And there's no message about anything. The audience just loved the moments of laughter they got from the show. Irene's career spanned 5 decades of success in radio, film, television, and Broadway. She was always on the go. She never slacked in honing her skills. The actress knew how fragile stability could be. She always felt she could lose it all at any time. This kept her working. There was no pause for Irene throughout her career. She kept at it till the very end. Her resilient spirit got her roles like Granny. She gave the viewers moments of thrills and suspense in the numerous episodes of the Beverly Hillbillies. When the series came to a close after 9 seasons, she didn't want the long-running television series to end. She was ready to keep acting if the production crew were up for it. The movie earned Irene 2 Emmy Award nominations for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series in 1963 and 1964. In 1965, she brought Granny's character to Mr. Ed. As you can imagine, people loved it. They couldn't get enough of Granny. Any opportunity that spotlighted the character was thrilling for the fans. They enjoyed the laughter and comic relief they got from Irene's role. When Irene didn't have her Granny makeup on, she often went unrecognized on the street, but her voice always gave her away. Although many couldn't spot her much younger face, they knew Granny's voice wherever they heard it. She didn't look like the character on Hillbillies with all the makeup gone, but they could tell she was the incredible Irene Ryan. Let's see how the actor rose to stardom. Rise to fame. At age 11, Irene Ryan got a taste of show business. That's when she knew she wanted to be a part of that life. Her first career job was an amateur contest at the Valencia Theater in San Francisco. Irene won $3 for performing Pretty Baby. It might be small, but that moment meant more to her than anyone could imagine. The crowd cheering at her win was the confirmation the 11-year-old needed. It was the deciding moment for Irene. That's when she knew she would be an entertainer. She was ready to make this dream happen, no matter how long it took her. From then on, the young girl pursued a career without the support of her parents, but she was determined to make it big. Something about the spotlight resonated with her talent. Although her parents thought otherwise, she knew beyond doubt her purpose wasn't the boundaries her parents placed on her. Irene had never cared for education. The only thing on her mind was a life on the silver screen. She only completed 2 high school years before dropping out to pursue her dreams. Getting a role wasn't as easy as Irene had thought. She didn't get on the stage or television. It took a few years to begin her career. At 14, she got a job with a California stock company by lying about her age. If not, she wouldn't get any opportunity due to strict child labor laws. Irene knew she needed practice. Instead of chasing roles in film or theater, she took time to learn the craft. She stayed at it for about 4 years and kept her dream of one day becoming a big name in the show business. She built skills in comedy and variety shows and spent time performing at different events in California. Although Irene thrilled viewers on television and radio, her roots were in stage performance. Before she gained a global audience with her role as Granny, she was a successful theater entertainer and had appeared in several movies. Irene featured in films in her 40s and 50s. She mostly took on characters of fussy and nervous women. At 1946, she was part of the Jack Carson Show on the radio, where she played the role of a storekeeper who ran a candy shop and lending library. Years later, she transitioned to television with her debut on CBS' The Danny Thomas Show. Irene was making waves in the industry as people loved her and all the roles she played. However, Irene had dreams of making it to the big stage. She wanted to be known as a global star. This kept her on her feet. In 1959, she starred alongside Walter Brennan in The Real McCoys on ABC. She played Cynthia Boyle in 3 episodes of Bringing Up Buddy and Rusty Wallace in The Romance of Silver Pines. Irene wasn't one to take breaks. She believed in resilience and hard work. These values characterized her life and resonated with all the characters she's ever portrayed. My Three Sons was the last film she starred in before her major break. After that was her spotlight moment in the Beverly Hillbillies series in 1962. Irene became famous overnight after her cast as Granny. Her success on the show gave her visibility. Everyone was raving about this new actress they'd never seen. Although Irene was new to many viewers, her acting portfolio said otherwise. She's always been on screen, delivering excellent performances. Many producers and businesses loved her talent so much that they worked with her on several projects. One such was her 2-year contract with the Sahara Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. Irene signed a deal to perform on their stage in 1965, bringing an energetic performance to her viewers. She made a guest appearance as Ellie McCabe in an episode of the CBS sitcom Ichabod and Me. She also played Granny co-starring Rose Marie and Maury Amsterdam in the 1966 comedy Don't Worry, We'll Think of a Title. She was also a contestant and guest on the Password game show in the same year. The actress gave the viewers a good time whenever she was on screen, on stage, or the radio. Irene Ryan was simply exceptional at her craft, and she stood out as being unmatched. With all these achievements, one would wonder if Irene had time for love. Did she have any love interests? What about kids? Keep watching, and you'll get all the details. Love, marriage, and divorce. At age 20, Irene was striving to find her footing in the entertainment world when she met Tim Ryan. He was a writer, actor, and comedian. They fell in love and got married in 1922. Irene finally let go of her name, Noblet, and took on Irene Ryan, although it took a while for her to be known professionally as Tim's wife. The couple wasn't just perfect partners in their marriage, it translated to their work. They formed a comedy team and became partners on stage. They gave theatrical performances in 11 short comedy films. Tim and Irene were the power couple in film and theater. After successful careers in theater, the duo proceeded to radio by starting their program, Tim and Irene. They gained more popularity with this comic show. Irene often took the flighty and naive character, riling up Tim's character. They became sensations and appeared on famous shows, including The Rudy Valley Show and The Bob Hope Show. As many fans warmed up to Irene's comic character on the radio, she also appeared on television. Despite their success, their marriage seemed faulty. When the lights went off and the cameras stopped recording, the couple showed their displeasure with each other. They no longer wanted to be together as a husband and wife. This led to their divorce in 1942. After 20 years of marriage, they ended their intimate relationship and kept a working relationship. They had both gained popularity as a couple and also had individual work. Tim Ryan was famous as an actor, and Irene's desire to entertain her fans stayed the same. After her divorce, she went on many adventures with Bob Hope, who focused on entertaining American soldiers overseas. Bob loved working with Irene because she also entertained him with her acts. She was known as the girl who made Bob Hope laugh from previous work on The Bob Hope Show. Irene enjoyed making others smile with her diverse character plays. This desire to share her gift with the world led her on a military tour with Bob Hope during World War II. She joined his USO troop to help in any way she could. Irene performed for soldiers and made them smile amidst their confrontations in war. They were happy to have Irene cheer them in moments when hope seemed frail. The actress was honored that she could give back to the soldiers who fought hard to protect her and her loved ones. She visited hospitals and extended help to those in need. After the war, she kept her commitment to the soldiers during the Berlin airlift, giving them hope through her performance. At 1943, Tim and Ryan reunited in Ryan's short film, where she starred as Edgar Kennedy's wife. A 1944 monogram picture brought them together. They featured in several films, including Hot Rhythm and Will You Stop? Are you still wondering if Tim and Irene had children? Let's find out. A tragic end. Irene didn't always have her life put together. She struggled with many issues in her early years of acting. After many trials and failures, the actress learned to be comfortable with her acting prowess and accepted herself. The pressure of not fitting into the appealing side of Hollywood no longer bothered Irene. It took her many years to learn that her craft was just as great as everyone else, whether or not she made it to the big screen or lived the flashy lifestyle. In a 1953 interview, she said, "There was a time when I envied the most beautiful girl in my class, but I outgrew that and learned to make the most of my funny face." Finding a pleasant expression, being happy or successful, does not depend on having regular features. Don't let anything stop you from getting everything you want out of life. She grew to be confident and an overachiever. Her years of success were proof that anyone could live their dream. At the end of Hillbillies in 1971, Irene went back to her first love, theater play. She immediately landed another role in the Broadway musical Pippin and starred alongside Ben Verse. She wasn't the type of actor who understood retirement. For her, living was acting, whether television, radio, or Broadway. Telling Irene to quit her life as an entertainer took her breath away. Despite being 70, she stayed dedicated to her craft and showed up every day her presence was needed at the theater. Till her last breath, she acted. Irene had a stroke while performing at the Pippin musical and was later diagnosed with a brain tumor. Sadly, the illness led to her demise at 70. The musical started getting positive reviews from critics when the tragedy happened. A month before passing, she was nominated for a Tony Award as Best Supporting or Featured Actress in Pippin. On March 10, 1973, Irene suffered a stroke mid-performance of Pippin. She was flown back to California after her doctor's orders and admitted in a hospital. A later diagnosis of Irene reported inoperable glioblastoma, a brain tumor. On April 26, 1973, news of her demise struck the world. The actress passed away at St. John's Hospital in Santa Monica, California. The causes of her demise were given as glioblastoma and heart disease. Irene was buried beside her sister, Anna Thompson, at the Woodlawn Memorial Cemetery in Santa Monica. The name Granny was encrusted on her gravestone. Irene was the first member of the Beverly Hillbillies cast to pass away. Although many loved her role as Berta in Bob Fosse's 1972 musical, she will always be remembered as Granny. She was a seasoned performer who brought the spark and got the attention of everyone with her delectable talent. Her years on screen were unforgettable, and some of her works have been preserved and aired as reruns on several digital platforms. Irene Ryan's net worth was estimated to be $1 million at the time of her passing. She amassed this wealth after 5 decades as an actress, several investments, business ventures, and savings. Irene decided to give it all away when she faced the health condition, as she had no relatives. Irene and Tim didn't have children while they were together. In 1972, she established the Irene Ryan Acting Scholarship. Through this platform, she gave up her $1 million net worth to students who have a future in acting without the means for proper education. The scheme awards scholarships to extraordinary actors who join the Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival. Many student performers who nursed dreams of being entertainers have furthered their education, all thanks to Irene. After her demise, her legacy continues. The Irene Ryan Foundation still gives financial assistance, recognition, and honor to outstanding performers in memory of the Beverly Hillbillies actress. Yearly, theater aspirants worldwide can afford to keep their dream of one day taking the stage, because Irene gave them opportunity decades after her demise. Despite Irene's success, her later years took a tragic turn. Inside her abandoned house are memories of her legacy throughout her career. What used to be Irene Ryan's home is now an old rusty building left to decadence. This home is a reminder of her life outside the spotlight. It was a safe haven for Irene while she was alive. Unlike the fancy mansion in the Beverly Hillbillies series, her home was simple and comforting. Sadly, this building is unrecognizable and left to nature's touch. According to reports and exploration accounts, the house has not been accessed by anyone. Her furniture, art, photographs, and relics from her several film roles are dusty and scattered around the house. While Irene dedicated her fortune to helping others, her house stays uncared for. The once historic piece that gave the actress balance between her on-screen life and normal living lies in ruins. While Irene's house may have been abandoned, her fans keep her memory close. History will always honor her contributions to the world of entertainment. Do you think something can be done about Irene's abandoned house? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to this channel. Before you go, watch the other videos on your screen.